Chapter 5 is concerned with process modeling. Process modeling is not UML specific, but nevertheless it's an indispensable part of modeling the requirements for a new information system or to replace an existing information system. A process model describes business processes, that is, the activities performed by people in the business. One can develop process models for new systems or for existing systems. Data flow diagramming, described in this chapter, is one of the most commonly used process modeling techniques. Data flow diagrams, or DFDs as they're often called, are a type of process model. They are used a lot. One reason is because they are easy to understand and easy to build. Like use cases, DFDs are a graphical way of representing how a business system should operate. It illustrates the processes or activities performed and how data move among them. They can be used to document an existing, so-called as-is system, or to document a new, not yet existing system. You see on this chart a distinction between logical process models and physical process models. We're not going to be concerned with the physical process models. Physical process models are more important in the design phase, and they have to reckon with the type of languages that the systems are coded on, the hardware suite, the operating system, the network infrastructure, those sorts of physical requirements. We, in virtually all of this course, we are mostly concerned with conceptual or logical requirements. These are, with process modeling, the logical process models describe processes without regard for how they are implemented. Specifically, we're going to be looking at conceptual or logical data flow diagrams. What do DFDs tell us? Well, if you've seen Jordan Barlow's two videos, he does a good job of discussing the elements in a data flow diagram. However, he's a bit brief about it, so I'm going to elaborate a little bit. Here's a relatively complex data flow diagram. This would be a level 1. You can tell by the numbers, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, and so forth. And it illustrates all of the 4 main parts or symbols that are used in a data flow diagram. Now, again, this is why they're so popular. They're easy to build. 4 symbols. That's all you have to be able to master. Okay, so the rounded rectangles, like determine chemical approval status, are processes. These are an activity or a function performed for some specific business reason. Processes can be manual, they don't have to be automated, or they can be automated. Think of a process as a verb. It's an action, something that's happening, but typically the name is verb end with a noun, such as determine, request quantity, confirm, request. Starts with a verb, ends with a noun. Now, the little rectangles are data stores. You can think of a data store as data at rest. It's a collection of data that is stored in some way. Data stores form the starting point for the data model, which you'd be more concerned with in the design phase, not the analysis phase. And data stores represent the logical connection between the process model and the data model. Now, the arrows, which always start or end at a process, are data flows. They contain data that's being sent to or from other processes, data stores, or the external entities, the squares that we haven't discussed yet. Now, the book likes to talk about data flows as being a single fact, such as a quantity available, or a logical collection of several facts, such as a new chemical request. You name data flows with a noun, and you list the data elements that the flow contains. Data flows are the glue that hold the processes together. One end of a data flow will always begin or end at the process, with the arrow, of course, showing the direction of flow. Now finally, the squares, the fourth element, drawing element, symboled in a data flow diagram, are external entities, the squares. An external entity is a person, organization, organizational unit, or system that is external to the system itself that you're developing, but which interacts with the new system being developed. External entities provide the data to the system and receive data from the system and serve to define the system boundaries. So you can think of the entities as circumscribing the scope, showing the boundaries, the edges of the system itself. Okay, so those are, in a nutshell, those are the four types of drawing elements that you have on a DFD. Processes are verbs, they do things. Data flows are nouns, they represent data in motion. Data stores are nouns, they represent data at rest. And external entities are nouns, things external to the system.